Hello, Joy Olson here, Blockbuster Fundraising. Wow, what a week. Sunday, daylight savings, and the end of the week we have St. Patrick's Day. And everybody talks about the luck of the Irish. And I thought, what a wonderful topic for this week. Hard work versus luck. What do you think? As a fundraiser, what do you think? Do you have to get lucky for a great bequest or a great major gift or a great event, or is it just hard work? So let's examine what role that luck plays in our fundraising success. So it can be easy just to shrug our shoulders and say, success is only for the lucky. But what is the real line between success and luck? Well, if someone won the lottery, you'd certainly say they are really lucky. But would you say that they're successful? Nah, probably not, especially if they don't use their winnings wisely. Some people may even find that long-lost relatives and crawl out of the woodwork with their hands out, and I'm sure that definitely happens. But there may be cases where a lottery winner finds themselves worse off, and so that's a sad thing. And what difference does this all really make? It doesn't really make a bit of difference to us right now. We're looking at what is needed for success, really, luck or hard work. Well, let's look at Richard Branson, because Richard Branson is definitely a success. And he says in his book, The Virgin Way, everything I know about leadership, that the people and businesses that are seen as fortunate or luckier than others are usually also the ones that are prepared to take the greatest risks, and by association are also prepared to fall flat on their faces every so often. Richard Branson says you can't get lucky if you're always playing it safe. You got to take a little bit of risk. So luck and success, no matter what the circumstance, a person who has proven themselves to be successful believes they create their own luck. Yes, they were in the right place at the right time, but they put themselves in that place and said yes to the opportunity before that put them in that right place. In some cases, where you could say someone was lucky to be born with an ability that leads to success, the person who became successful took their natural ability and created an opportunity through hard work to make that ability the best it can possibly be. I think a good example of this would be a development director that was really just born with a great talent of relating to people, liking people, and being really likable. That should make for a great fundraising development director. But to be super successful, it needs a lot of honing that luck, that talent. It needs hard work and processes and grit and focus to become a really successful fundraiser. As Will Smith so powerfully puts it, no matter how talented you are, your talent will fail you if you're not skilled. Skilled is achieved through practice. Work hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day. And this is something that we really believe in at Blockbuster Fundraising. And when I work with fundraisers one-on-one, I will say to them, have a little bit of learning time. If it's only 30 minutes a day, be learning. Dedicate yourself to being better every single day. Don't just keep doing things the same way. We can always get better. And it makes us feel so good to have that little goal. Learn something new. And it's fantastically exciting and I think very inspirational. Do you have a luck mindset? Feeling lucky is a positive mindset, And positive mindsets embrace the future and bring new opportunities. So if you couple this mindset with smart thinking, a good investment, or positive action, you will definitely really go a long way. So it all depends on how you view it. Successful people say that they've gained their stature from a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work, whereas those looking on tend to believe that it's a little bit of hard work and a huge amount of luck. So a circumstance that is lucky to one person might be unlucky to another, hard work or fate. It's a matter of perception. What we find as we study successful people is that part of their success is having their luck filters turned on. Turned on, feel lucky, and then working really hard to make sure that that luck happens. A person who is destined to greatness in their field may in fact lead an ordinary life, feeling that they were destined for nothing, simply because they never took the chance to be great. Well, let's look at Rick Smith. Now, he's founder and CEO of 3D printing company, Fast Radius. And he has a love-hate relationship with luck. And he wrote a great article about people who get lucky, such as a developer who launches an app that just absolutely takes off, versus someone who works hard and earns a series of promotions. They both worked hard, and were they both lucky? Well, success and luck, it works pretty simply. If you tell yourself you are lucky, and you see your circumstances as lucky, then you are more likely to see more options. You see more options, you open more doorways to opportunities, and you follow your dreams. It doesn't mean that things won't go against you. It's just that those things are either not taken to heart, or you can flip them to be used in a positive manner. Actually, I think that we all know and have experienced failures that have really helped us learn more than anything else. And we can use that failure, that setback, as a very positive momentum for the rest of our career, our future. So that's it. For sure, a negative circumstance can absolutely be flipped around to use it positively. What's lucky really depends upon your mindset. The unlucky thinking person will feel that their options are limited, and their mindset is focused on not being so lucky. They don't feel very positive. They're more likely to batten down the hatches and create a negative frame of mind. I mean, sometimes don't you, like, you go to a staff meeting and you'll have a great idea, and there's one person that just always has the most negative mindset. Oh, that won't work, this won't right, blah, blah, blah. And you think, So when people talk about luck, what they mean is circumstances outside our control and the impact that those circumstances have. Good luck is a positive impact, and bad luck a negative one. So when people talk about success, they usually refer to circumstances within their control. So proper care equals success, and improper care equals failure. Well, in truth, the impact of both is really up to us. How we leverage those circumstances is what makes us who we are and really proves the mettle of our worth, which can then lead to better use of circumstances within our control, which gives us greater success. If we only respond to certain situations that we're unsure about with fear, we're really never going to see that opportunity, that diamond in the rough that shines inside all of us. By accepting the challenge and seeing it as an opportunity to grow, we really open our ability to reach our inner potential. So the mindset of successful people, and we all want to be successful fundraisers to get to our goal. So we want to know, what is the mindset of successful people? What truly successful people, the experts tell us, do is consider that all circumstances are, in part, within their control. Perhaps not in the beginning, but certainly in their reaction and subsequent growth from what's happened. So nobody counts how much a billionaire has lost, especially not the billionaire. If they did, they might certainly start feeling unlucky. Here, it's never about always winning, never ever. So to be successful, lucky or not, you still do the hard work and you leverage your circumstances as much as possible. And if bad luck comes our way, and it will, it's up to us to how we take it. If we see it as an omen that we're on the wrong path or punishment for trying something new, then we're probably going to think of ourselves as unlucky and create less opportunity for ourselves. But if we're able to take a bad experience and learn from it, and we realize that by learning from it, we will gain eventual success, we open up to even more possibilities in all of our life. So the difference in these thinking patterns explains why some people flourishes while others do not. So what role does luck really play in our success? Well, our ability to respond to our circumstances and adapt is not lucky at all. It's practice. It's practice and hard work that allow flexibility in our ability to respond, as well as being able to take ownership for everything that happens in our lives and what happens in our fundraising. So growth is just as rapid from negative as from positive experience, and actually could possibly make us even more successful than if our path had been untroubled, as we have more understanding, more ability, and more resources than a person who just happened upon a great success without working for it. So I had a friend this morning and we were talking about this particular subject, luck versus hard work. And he said to me, I just fear failing. Don't fear failing, because it's going to give you more understanding, more ability, and more resources than a person that just happens to do great all the time and hasn't probably really figured out why it's happening that way. So how you think about luck and how you respond to your circumstances is entirely up to you. And probably the greatest way to be successful is to acknowledge the gifts that come your way. Gratitude. Be grateful for the gifts that come your way, whether it's luck, a win, or a skill. Or if you prefer to call it fate, by being grateful and practicing gratitude for what we have and how we got to where we are is a powerful way to stay positive, to stay present, and to create positive change. And that's what we're all doing in the nonprofit world. We are we're helping to create positive change. And so we all want to absolutely do the very best job that we can. And whether it's luck, we don't know, but we do know that hard work, perseverance, really, really just helps make luck seem easier. It makes it happen a little bit easier. I recently read an article, a new book that I want to tell you about that refers to grit. So let's take a look at that. Angela Duckworth, and her book is called Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. And it's eye-opening. It's an eye-opening book. She did an extensive examination of hundreds of studies and interviewed hundreds of successful people. And it turns out that there is more to success than just hard work. In fact, there was only one factor that held consistent among these people, and she called it grit. I really like this. She defines grit as a mixture of perseverance and passion for long-term goals. And the best news is that grit can be learned and improved. Isn't that wonderful? So I hopefully will do some more from her, that great book, and we can talk about that in future programs. One thing that people will ask me is, because I'm a fundraiser that really comes in and does turnaround situations when extensive crises are being felt and really needs a lot of work. And I look back on 3 of my biggest successes in the last decade, and I think about the extreme hard work that I put in, and I think about the process. I always had a process. I really wanted to focus on what I had to do. What were the top 3 things that I had to do to achieve this humongous goal? And they were pretty humongous. And in what time frame, how much time did I have to do it before the opportunity was gone or the doors were closed? And I also really believe in grit, because when you're involved in situations like that, you have to be so tenacious. And I think that you have to persevere, and you've got to be so positive about what you're doing. And all that being said, when I look back on it and I pat myself a little bit on the back for that, I think, oh my gosh, I was so lucky. So luck does play a part in it, because it's all very interesting. So this St. Patrick's Day, when someone says, may the luck of the Irish be with you, well, that's fabulous. Anyway, what's that old saying? If I had my choice between being lucky and good, I'd take lucky every time. So this is Joy Olson of Blockbuster Fundraising, and I think you can really glean lots of great information and inspiration from our YouTube Blockbuster Fundraising channel. We have over 300 free video fundraising tips, and of course you can find us at blockbusterfundraising.com, joyolsongroup.com. And if you have questions, get in touch with us, make comments. We'd love to hear from you. All right, well, happy St. Patrick's Day. We're all looking forward to spring coming up soon too. And I hope that you found that extra hour you're not dragging, that you're going to have a great week. We're excited about this week at Blockbuster. We're excited that you're here. And thanks so much. Bye-bye.